Hello folks, welcome back. I'm sitting here with Rick Guidotti, my new friend from Positive Exposures in New York City. And Rick, take us on a journey of your travels and some of the wonderful people you photographed and have presented for a broader exposure, including in the healthcare community.
Sure. Well, positive exposure has been around for more than 25 years now. I started out photographing here in New York, but very quickly started off working with kids and adults living with a genetic condition called albinism, or albino is the common term. I felt it was really important to explore cultural perceptions, early days of positive exposure of albinism around the world. So we turned there are parts of Africa where people with albinism are hunting for their body parts. In East Africa specifically, so working with communities there to raise awareness and challenge that stigma and destroy and rip apart those stereotypes and those superstitions through human images and talking about people and not looking at with differences only, but seeing beauty and humanity. But also traveling throughout the South Pacific, going into communities like Fiji, where at the turn of the 19th century, a tribe couldn't hold territory, let's say it's somebody with albinism in a powerful political position. So early days of positive exposure, we had a global feeling to it. But when positive exposure was launched, people from around the globe also felt the need to be seen. And no matter which country I'm on, or which continent I'm on, or which language or which culture we're working in, we all have the exact same need, and it's a need to be seen, a need to be heard, and a need to be loved. And with that in mind, it takes me everywhere around the globe. I was just recently in South Korea, traveling in a couple of weeks we're going to New Zealand tomorrow, which is kind of cool. I forgot about that. Brazil, Mexico, and the Philippines on the Special Olympics for the Philippines, and then a global program that we're collaborating right now on looking at individuals and communities that are undiagnosed. When you have a diagnosis, you have your advocacy organizations, you have your specialists, you have your network of physicians and specialists, you have your families, but when you're undiagnosed, you're alone. So we're collaborating with the Mayo Clinic, the National Institutes of Health, Karolinska Institute in Sweden, to connect all these centers around the world of excellence for people that are undiagnosed. So we were in South Korea there, we're traveling into Brazil for that, and then to Australia, or it's been on to West Africa and in India, and just kind of, again, creating opportunities for people to know that they're not alone. Because you don't have any resources and you're undiagnosed, it's terrifying. So we're really kind of make sure no one was left alone. And we're also starting and opening up to communications for centers of excellence as well through photography and film. So we're creating these updates for communication to be able to actually start connecting and making those lifetime connections. And people are now getting diagnosis as well, which is pretty amazing.
Rick, when you presented at Rowan Virtual School of Osteopathic Medicine a couple of weeks ago, and we did a little tour of the faces that you photographed over time, a couple of medical students were with us. And one in particular was very involved emotionally and mentally, professionally, with special needs patients. And you referred to an organization of students. Can you tell us a little bit?
There's an organization that we collaborate very closely with. It's called the American Academy of Developmental Medicine and Dentistry. And they're an organization that have chapters in medical schools around the country, actually around the world. There's an international or global component to that. And it's creating opportunities for healthcare providers in training, early in their training, to have a better understanding of disability, a better understanding of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and not to be fearful of them, but to be excited and enthusiastically welcome them into their practice, to enrich them as human beings, to enrich their practices and enrich their lives as physicians as well. Creating opportunities for us all to make these connections and really not be resistant to working with some of the disability, but welcoming that and understanding and using that experience to just enrich all the lives of your patients in your practice.
Oh, that's wonderful. Just
They're great, good, but it's their 30th year, it's a 30th anniversary. I think it's this year. We're being a big party. It's going to be in Chicago. It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
we have to do that's great.
All right, I'll put it on my schedule. All right, folks, we'll take a pause and we'll come back and hear about what's new and upcoming on the positive exposure calendar. Thank you.